201 million years ago, before humans, before mammals ruled anything, before a single flower had ever bloomed, the Earth was already ancient. And on that day, a new chapter began. Forests stretched to horizons no human eye would ever see. Reptiles the size of buildings walked beneath skies patrolled by leathery wings. Beneath the waves, monsters older than imagination hunted in silence. This is the story of the Jurassic, not the movie, not the myth, but the real 56 million year saga written in stone, bone, and fire. To understand the Jurassic, we first have to understand what came before it, because this era was not a beginning, it was a resurrection. At the end of the Triassic period, roughly 201 million years ago, the planet was struck by one of the great mass extinctions in Earth's history. Massive volcanic rifts tore across the supercontinent Pangaea, releasing oceans of lava and clouds of greenhouse gas into the sky. Carbon dioxide surged, temperatures spiked, ocean chemistry shifted violently. Entire lineages of amphibians, ancient crocodile relatives, and marine reptiles simply vanished. It was devastating. But extinction, as brutal as it is, clears the stage. And when the smoke cleared, something unexpected happened. A small, overlooked group of reptiles, the dinosaurs, found themselves with almost no competition left. This is the true beginning of the Jurassic story, not the age of giants stepping onto an empty planet by luck, but a group of small, fast, efficient survivors inheriting a broken world and rebuilding it in their image. While life was recovering, the ground itself was moving. For hundreds of millions of years, nearly all of Earth's land had been fused into one immense supercontinent, Pangaea. But deep beneath its surface, heat from the planet's mantle was pulling it apart, inch by inch, year by year. Cracks widened into rift valleys filled with water, and slowly, agonizingly slowly, Pangaea split into two great land masses, Laurasia in the north, Gondwana in the south, separated by a growing sea that would one day become part of the Atlantic Ocean. This wasn't just a geological event, it was a biological turning point. As continents separated, so did the animals living on them. Populations that once roamed freely across a single landmass were now isolated on drifting islands of rock. Cut off from each other, they began to evolve down different paths, different climates, different food sources, different predators, shaping different destinies. This single slow-motion breakup is one of the reasons the Jurassic world became so wildly diverse. Isolation didn't just separate the continents, it multiplied life itself. If you could stand on Jurassic Earth, the sky itself would feel foreign. There were no ice caps, not at the poles, not anywhere. Carbon dioxide levels sat far above what we breathe today, trapped in the atmosphere by ongoing volcanic activity and a planet still recovering from its Triassic wounds. The result was a greenhouse world, warm from equator to pole, with no icy extremes to divide the climate zones. Warmer oceans released more moisture into the air, feeding heavier rainfall and lush, humid forests that stretched across land masses now free to bloom. Without ice to reflect sunlight back into space, the Earth absorbed more heat, reinforcing its own warmth in a feedback loop. Sea levels sat higher than today, drowning the edges of continents under shallow, sunlit seas. Seas that would soon become nurseries for some of the ocean's most fearsome predators. On land, the dinosaurs were no longer struggling to survive. They were thriving and growing. With rich, warm forests providing endless fuel, plant-eating dinosaurs began reaching sizes the world had never seen. Take Diplodocus, a herbivore built like a living bridge. 4 pillar-like legs supported a body stretched almost impossibly long, capped by a whip-thin tail and a neck that swept low across the undergrowth, sampling ferns and conifer needles across a vast feeding radius without ever taking a step. Its teeth weren't built for chewing, they were built for stripping, raking leaves off branches in bulk, swallowing them whole, and letting a massive internal digestive system do the rest. Then there was Brachiosaurus, built on an entirely different blueprint. Where Diplodocus grazed low, Brachiosaurus reached high. Its front legs were longer than its back legs, tilting its body upward like a living crane, its neck rising to browse treetops no other animal could touch. It didn't need to compete for food near the ground. It simply outgrew the competition. But an ecosystem this rich in plant-eaters couldn't exist without predators to match. Enter Allosaurus, the Jurassic's dominant hunter. Powerful hind legs built for controlled bursts of speed, a skull engineered for slashing, tearing bites, and a bite force capable of bringing down prey many times its own size. Unlike the slow, methodical giants it hunted, Allosaurus was built for ambush, for the sudden, violent seconds where a hunt was won or lost. Giants like these didn't appear by chance. Their success came from real biological advantages. Legs positioned directly beneath their bodies for efficient movement, an advanced breathing system using air sacs that kept oxygen flowing constantly through their bodies, and reproductive strategies, laying eggs in large numbers that let populations expand quickly whenever conditions allowed. This was a body plan built for dominance, and for the next several million years, dinosaurs would occupy nearly every major role an ecosystem could offer. While giants ruled the land, the Jurassic seas were building monsters of their own. The shallow, sunlit waters created by rising sea levels became hunting grounds for marine reptiles that had abandoned land entirely. Ichthyosaurs were the ocean's speed specialists, dolphin-shaped, powerful-tailed, with enormous eyes built to track prey even in dim or deep water. They were relentless pursuit hunters, built for the chase. Plesiosaurs took a different approach. Long-necked and broad-bodied, they didn't chase, they ambushed, using powerful flippers to glide silently before striking with a sudden lunge of that impossibly long neck. Some species had shorter necks and larger heads instead, built not for stealth, but raw bite strength, proof that even within one family, evolution found more than one way to succeed. And drifting through these same waters were the ammonites, coiled, chambered shells housing soft-bodied relatives of today's squid and octopus. They weren't just prey, they were timekeepers. Because ammonites evolved so rapidly, their fossilized shells act almost like a calendar for scientists today, helping date rock layers across the entire planet with remarkable precision.
It's easy to picture the Jurassic in bright, familiar greens, but this was a world without a single flower. Every plant that fed every dinosaur belonged to a group called gymnosperms, conifers with needle-like leaves, tough-trunked cycads crowned with stiff fronds, and fan-leafed ginkgos. These plants reproduced through cones, not blossoms, releasing pollen and seeds directly into wind and soil. It was a quieter, greener, more muted world than the flowering landscapes of later ages, but no less alive. These forests were the true engine of the Jurassic. Every long-necked giant, every predator, every insect ultimately depended on the endless cycle of these ancient, flowerless trees. Perhaps the most extraordinary story of the Jurassic wasn't a giant at all. It was something small, feathered, and easy to overlook. Among the meat-eating theropod dinosaurs, a lineage of small-bodied hunters had begun developing filament-like coverings on their skin. Over generations, these simple structures branched, layered, and evolved into true feathers. One creature captures this transition perfectly: Archaeopteryx. Toothed jaws, a long bony tail, clawed fingers on feathered wings. It was, quite literally, a creature caught between two worlds, reptile and bird, existing at the exact hinge point of one of evolution's most famous transformations. Its wings weren't yet built for powered flight the way a modern bird's are, but the foundation was there. Hollow, lightweight bones, an efficient breathing system inherited from its dinosaur ancestors, and feathers arranged in patterns built for controlling air. Every bird alive today, every sparrow, eagle, and pigeon outside your window is a living descendant of this exact evolutionary moment. It's tempting to imagine the Jurassic as one long, stable golden age, but the truth is messier and far more interesting. This was a world in constant flux. Volcanic eruptions periodically flooded the atmosphere with carbon dioxide and sulfur compounds, spiking global temperatures and altering rainfall across entire continents. In the oceans, rising temperatures reduced dissolved oxygen, creating dead zones where marine life struggled or vanished entirely. Ocean acidity shifted with rising carbon dioxide, placing stress on shelled creatures like ammonites and early reef-building organisms. Sea levels rose and fell with the shifting continents, expanding and shrinking the shallow seas that so much marine life depended on. These weren't single catastrophic events like the extinction that opened this era. They were smaller, repeated waves of stress written permanently into layers of rock across the planet. Some species vanished from certain regions entirely. Others adapted, migrated, or simply endured. It was a world constantly testing its inhabitants and constantly reshaping itself in response. 56 million years. That's how long the Jurassic lasted. A span of time so vast that all recorded human history barely registers as a rounding error against it. In that time, life didn't just survive an extinction, it rebuilt itself into something larger, stranger, and more dominant than anything that came before. The giants of the Jurassic would eventually give way to new dynasties in the Cretaceous, but their story never truly ended. It lives on in every fossil bed still being uncovered today, in every bird that takes flight outside your window, and in the enduring human fascination with a world we can only ever visit through science and imagination. The Jurassic wasn't just an age of giants, it was one of the greatest comeback stories in the history of life on Earth. If this journey through deep time captivated you the way it captivated us to make it, Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of Earth's prehistoric story. And before you go, I want to know, if you could stand in the Jurassic for just 60 seconds, which creature would you want to see first? A giant like Brachiosaurus, a hunter like Allosaurus, or something from the deep ocean? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every one, and I'll feature the best answers in our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter of Prehistoric Earth.